WNBA ratings worst nightmare just came true because it was just announced that Caitlin Clark will be out for the rest of the season. She's only played 13 games this season, and her most recent injury, which happened back in July, was a groin injury. The craziest part about all of this has been the reporting around her injury. The team has never given her a timetable for return. Some fans were even speculating that they've just been stringing fans along the whole time because they know that ratings and attendance would drop once they announced that she's out, which is also so ironic that they announced it the day that football season started.
WNBA ratings' worst nightmare just came true because it was just announced that Caitlin Clark will be out for the rest of the season. She's only played 13 games this season, and her most recent injury, which happened back in July, was a groin injury. The craziest part about all of this has been the reporting around her injury. The team has never given her a timetable for return. Some fans were even speculating that they've just been stringing fans along the whole time because they know that ratings and attendance would drop once they announced that she's out, which is also so ironic that they announced it the day that football season starts. The WNBA just got slammed with the reality check nobody wanted but everyone feared. And at the center of it all is Caitlin Clark. The numbers are in free fall and the league is spiraling. Ratings are plummeting faster than a clumsy dunk contest. Ticket sales are evaporating, and the supposed growth era is starting to look like nothing more than an overhyped illusion. The only franchise keeping things afloat was Indiana. And now that anchor has been ripped away, leaving the rest of the league's hopes sinking like a ship taking on water. So, it's official. The most heartbreaking news for Indiana Fever fans that could come of the season, but Caitlin Clark will not be returning to the 2025 WNBA season. She took the liberty of posting it herself because there were many people asking to hear from Caitlin Clark to hear how she felt about the entire situation. It all unraveled with one announcement. Caitlin Clark's season-ending injury has flipped the league's historic rise narrative into a flimsy marketing pitch no one's buying anymore. The shine is gone. The buzz has flatlined. And executives aren't just nervous. They're panicked. This isn't concern. It's sheer desperation spreading through boardrooms and front offices like wildfire. The WNBA built everything on one star, and now they're staring straight into their worst nightmare. Comment down below who you think is to blame for all this mess. Let's go. I hope to share a better update, but I will not be returning to play this season. I spent hours in the gym every day with a singular goal: getting back out there. Disappointed isn't a big enough word, Tori, to describe how I'm feeling. I want to thank everyone who has had my back through all this uncertainty. This has been incredibly frustrating. But even in the bad, there is good, and the way the fans continue to show up for me and for the Fever brought me so much joy and important perspective. I'm so proud of how this team has only gotten stronger to adverse heat this year. The league's golden ticket, the player who made every arena, every broadcast, and every highlight matter, is officially done for the year. After weeks of vague updates, dodged questions, and whispers about timelines, Caitlin Clark confirmed it. I will not be returning this season. Just one sentence, but it detonated like a bomb. The Fever can drop the illusion of a miraculous comeback. There's no schedule, no return, no safety net, just a glaring absence where the league's brightest star once stood. And the ripple effects, they're massive. And they're not stopping with Indiana. This panic is engulfing the entire league. Norm for the WNBA is being largely ignored by the media. Largely ignored by sports media, not considered a real professional league to the point where people didn't even know it existed until CC22. That's just a fact. You can't believe how many times I have people come in the chat and say, I didn't even know that there was a professional women's basketball league until K. Yeah, it's the fact. Let's break down the numbers because the data doesn't lie. When Clark was on the floor, Indiana's games averaged an astonishing 26 million viewers. That's the kind of attention most leagues dream about. But the moment she went down on July 15th with that groin injury, ratings nosedived to 400,000 per broadcast. That's a devastating 70% collapse. And keep in mind, those were numbers fans still tolerated under the hope she might return. Now that she's officially done for the season, that cliff just turned into a canyon. This isn't a dip, it's an abyss. The WNBA isn't just hurting, it's staring into a void it can't climb out of. Fever and Clark saying that she tried to get back on the floor. It appears that she just ran out of time, not able to get enough confidence back in her body as the season wraps up and the playoffs are likely about to begin for Indiana. I mean, it's a gut punch that basically encompasses an entire season of them. The Fever have lost so many players to injury, but obviously none bigger than Clark. And there was such a wait for this second season after her magnificent rookie season. Without Caitlin Clark, the WNBA looks hollow. It doesn't feel like a professional league anymore. It feels like a struggling support group, desperately trying to convince fans they matter. The league had a golden opportunity to prove it could hold interest while she was sidelined, but the reality was brutal. NBA TV ratings without Clark plummeted another 40%. The contrast is staggering, almost laughable. This isn't just one superstar sitting out. It's the entire foundation of the WNBA being exposed as a house of cards. This has been a huge disaster as far as public perception for the WNBA. An entirely new group of people started tuning into this league for one player and one player only. In fact, so many new people tuned into this league, the viewership for the Caitlin Clark games largely surpassed anything else going on in the WNBA. I would argue that the amount of Caitlin Clark fans are at least 3x. Commissioner Kathy Angelberg can parade around calling her the most popular athlete in America, but that crown comes with enormous baggage. When your entire sports relevance lives and dies by one player's health, every injury becomes an existential threat. Decades of effort to build a stable product just evaporated. Clark's arrival was the league's ticket to relevance. And now, imagine the playoffs. Imagine the finals without her. Those broadcasts are going to look like scrimmages, not marquee events. The Fever themselves are in freefall, sitting in 7th place. Their playoff future is already murky, and without Clark, they're not sniffing the finals. This was supposed to be a championship-caliber team driven by her playmaking and energy. Now they're a skeleton crew stripped of their leader, their floor general, and the marketing juggernaut that made them must-watch television. Without Clark, they're just another middle-of-the-pack team, and nobody is tuning in for that. When she was supposed to return versus the Minnesota Lynx supposedly, and then the Scott Agnes, and all them start talking about she suffered a bone bruise in Phoenix. I told y'all it was a wrap. It was done. It was done. They knew it. And I believe they've known far longer. They have known. They've kept us fans in the dark, and it sucks. It absolutely sucks. Man, I was so looking forward to watching Caitlin Clark play this season. Now, we have to wait an entire off-season, and we don't even know what's going to happen. They might be a lockout. There might not even be a 2026 season, guys. The financial side of this is even more jaw-dropping. Sports economist Ryan Brewer projected Clark's impact to hit $1 billion in a single season. And that wasn't just Fever revenue. That included merchandising, TV contracts, tourism, and the cultural wave she brought with her. Her brand extended far beyond basketball. She was a global phenomenon, selling jerseys faster than Nike could produce them and packing NBA-ized arenas night after night. Compare that to the rest of the league where players are still trying to turn Instagram likes into sponsorships. The gulf between Caitlin Clark and everyone else isn't just about talent. It's about cultural gravity. She's not just part of the WNBA economy. She is the WNBA economy. She knows just how much she means to everybody that buys those tickets. I mean, I would say at least like 90 to maybe not 95, but like 90% of the people in arenas were there to see Caitlin Clark, which of course they became fans of the Fever afterwards. But you know, Caitlin Clark is the draw. And then here's this one where she's actually in her street clothes. And yeah, these are, you know, pretty heartfelt photos, her in the huddle with her teammates. But I got to say, this was quite a year. I mean, there came a certain point where people, including myself, were just like, what is actually going on? And now the panic is palpable. Think about it. Players spent the 2024 season targeting Clark, throwing elbows, flagrant fouls, and trash talk like it was their full-time job. They spent more energy trying to knock her down than building themselves up. And now they're staring into half-empty arenas, wondering why the spotlight doesn't follow them. The petty jealousy is about to be exposed for what it really is, a waste. Because Clark, the one they tried to bully out of the game, is gone. And with her goes the league's relevance. Here's the bitter truth. The WNBA built its future on Clark's shoulders and then refused to protect her. She endured more physical abuse than anyone else in the league. 17% of all flagrant fouls this season were committed against her. That's not coincidence. That's a pattern. And the referees under Angelbert's watch let it slide. The result? The league's only true Maya star is now on the shelf. And the WNBA is stuck holding the bill. Empty seats, cratering TV numbers, and sponsors quietly wondering if they just bought stock in a sinking ship. This season has been a complete train wreck. This season's been a complete disaster. We got the GOAT who only played 13 games, missed basically the whole season. Dana Bonner scammed us. Natasha Howard basically scammed us. Stephanie White's a liar.